Who here recognizes these men? Okay, yes, so we all recognize them. It's Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and Mark Zuckerberg. And I'm sure the reason we recognize them is because they're some of the most successful people in our society today, right? Yet, they all have one surprising thing in common. None of them graduated from college. Okay, yes, granted, they all got into schools first, 2 of them being Harvard, but that's besides the point. The point is that these men who ended up doing so well for themselves did so without the college education that our day and age puts so much emphasis on. In fact, according to the National Center for Educational Statistics, in 2007, there were 18.2 million students enrolled in college, an all-time high for our country. So what does that mean for people like me, high school students who have yet to enter the treacherous waters that is the application process? The United States higher education system is envied around the world. We live in a unique country in that we have the freedom and opportunity to choose from so many different amazing colleges and universities to pursue, essentially, whatever we want. And because of this, going to college has become what is expected of almost every teenager. But it wasn't always this way. Think back to when your parents or your grandparents were in high school. Not everyone went to college like the way they do today. In fact, the majority of the people who did attend college were either male or had parents who had attended college before them. Undergraduate enrollment increased 47% between the fall of 1970 and the fall of 1983, when it hit 10.8 million. And then from there, it increased 21% between 1994 and 2004. And between 2004 and 2014, it increased another 17%. So in a little under 40 years, college enrollment has doubled, and it is continuing to rise. I was visiting USC just a few months ago, and in the information session, they informed me that they get 54,000 applications a year. As if I wasn't already stressed out enough thinking about the great test scores and even better GPA I would need, they had to hit me with the fact that 54,000 students were applying to this amazing college, but 50,000 of them wouldn't get it. All of these students are just hoping to gain acceptance into the prestigious colleges of their dreams. But at what cost? Hi, I'm Augusta Imperatore, and I'm here to talk to you today about the power of college. When I learned that the theme of our TED Talks this year was going to be the power of, I immediately thought of college. Being in the midst of junior year, which is commonly referred to as, and excuse my profanity teachers, hell year, college is the forefront thing on my mind at basically any second of the school day. So I wasn't surprised when the first thing I could think of when I heard the word power was college. Power is a pretty complex word though. It is defined as the ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or course of events. And I feel it can do this in 2 ways. Power can be controlling and domineering, or it can be driving and motivating. And I plan to talk about the power of college in terms of both of these. But first, I'm going to focus on the more controlling connotation of the word. Just about every aspect of a student's high school career is influenced by the constant anticipation of a college application looming in the future. We spend 4 long years busting our butts, staying up into the late hours of the night, writing papers and working on projects, for the one day when a table full of college admissions officers is going to sit down and judge our character and our intelligence as it comes across on a piece of paper. People who have never met us or experienced our personalities are going to vote on whether or not we get to live out our dream. That's really scary. So naturally, every student is going to do all in their ability to portray themselves as best as they can for when that day comes. But that's just the thing. Everyone is doing all that they can in high school to prepare for college, so it seems like at this rate, the only way to get into college is to take every honors class offered and 3 to 4 APs on top of that. Well, yeah, that sounds like a great plan, but it's easier said than done. And as if getting straight A's wasn't already a tall enough order, there's the question everyone seems to just love to ask a high school student. What are your extracurriculars? It is personally my least favorite conversation to have, as it normally seems more like an interrogation. What do you do to get involved in school? What do you do to get involved outside of school? What service do you do? At the end of it, I often find myself asking, if I'm not a bilingual Olympic gold medalist who created their own app, do I have any chance of getting into college? And this constant pressure starts to put a real strain on the mental health of high school students. Adolescents are supposed to get 9.5 hours of sleep each night, which we do, if you combine 2 or 3 of us. I can't speak for other schools, but I know that at least at Oak Knoll, during a particularly stressful time, like the week before break, all you will hear anybody talking about is how stressed they are because they have 5 tests and 3 quizzes they need to study for and 2 papers they have to write on top of that. Okay, and I will admit, we definitely work ourselves up and probably stress a little more than we need to. But we're all just so focused on the end game of getting into college that it's hard to just take a step back and relax. We're also caught up in memorizing information because we must get an A on every test in order to get into college, that oftentimes we forget to just calm down and actually enjoy what we're learning. I was recently watching Sir Ken Revinson's TED Talk, Do Schools Kill Creativity? And the basis of it was the issue that knowledge is valued over creativity. He feels that the whole system of public education around the world is based around college acceptance. And the consequence of this is that many highly talented, brilliant people believe that they're not. And in simplest terms, his argument was this. What if you're amazing at art, but at your school, art is not valued because it's more about creativity as opposed to intelligence. So you never realize your potential because, hey, you were never going to be an artist. And he quickly had me convinced. I mean, how often in our society are people encouraged to pursue something creative from a young age? What if you're amazing at painting? And who knows, you could be the next Picasso. But you know what? Study math instead, because when the time comes, that's what's going to get you into college. Who cares if you actually like it? And this really got me thinking. Why do we do what we do? To go to college, to get a job, to make money? Is this the path we have to take? Do we go to college because it's what is expected of us? I heard a quote by William Butler Yeats that really changed my tune about my high school career and education as a whole. And it was this. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. Clearly the power college holds over us in high school has its negative effects. But I would consider myself a pretty positive person. And I feel like this talk wouldn't be complete without also shedding a light on all the positive things the power of college has pushed me to do. The word power can mean energy that is produced. And this is just what the power of college has done for me. It has ignited within me a fire that has pushed me my limits and helped me realize my full potential. As students, there are some things we may start as resume builders, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because it can lead to a passion we may not have tried otherwise. I know that if I didn't have the driving force of college in my life, there are a lot of things I might have missed out on during high school, TED being one of them. We all need a little motivation once in a while, and I definitely needed a push to try TED. But if you couldn't tell by me being up here the past 2 years, it has become something I am passionate about, and I eagerly look forward to every April when I get to share my year's work with you guys. The power of college is empowering. It motivates me and keeps me excited to push through these high school days and the pressure that comes with them. Because even in the power of pressure, there are things to be gained. In the midst of this seemingly endless junior year, I have learned and grown so much more than I ever thought possible. Whenever it seems like I cannot do any more, I am constantly pushed to give my all because of the spark college has ignited within me. As I end my talk today about college and expectations, I want to leave everybody, but especially my fellow high school students, with this quote by Howard Thurman. Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive, and go do it. Because what the world needs is more people who have come alive. Thank you.